Welcome back to my channel, DaveRN. Yeah, so if you're new, I'm gonna need for you to like, comment, and subscribe. Anyway, this video today is kind of like a intro video to like my channel. Like, who am I? Like, who is this girl like on here talking about like COVID? Like, is she even really a nurse? Like, who are you? You only been a nurse like an RN 1 year. Like, are you even really a nurse? Like, So yeah, so I'm just kind of gonna give some insight into who I am. Also, I think this video may really benefit my LPNs out there that are currently working as LPNs, and or maybe you're in school transitioning to RN role, or you're thinking about going back to school to become a RN, just like I did. So me, I was a LPN for 8 years, and I've been an RN a little over a year. So altogether, 9 years I've been a nurse. So pretty much, I worked for like 7.5, 7 years, 6 years, whatever, prior to beginning what you call an LPN to RN bridge program. LPN RN bridge program pretty much takes your LPN experience and education, and they pretty much say like, you should know this already. So we're either going to allow you to test out of this course, or we are going to give you this course, but just in a fraction amount of the time that a generic student, and a generic RN student is a student that they've never been a nurse. So I did that. My course was for 18 months. 18 months, and just like everyone else, we're eager to get out of school. We want to work full time. We've been in nursing school, poor and broke. Like, nursing school break you down, okay? Like, it broke me down. Like, my pockets was just like, okay. So for me, my motivation, what really kept me going in RN school was, all right, been there, done that with the LPN thing. I'm ready to move on. Like, I want to make some of this RN money. So I graduated and I sat for my NCLEX board examination, passed that successfully. So now I'm ready to work. So at the time, I was residing in South Florida, and the market pay for registered nursing, whether you're experienced or not, is not that attractive, I'll say, compared to the rest of the country. And in addition to that, I was a new RN. One thing I will say is that once you come out, a lot of hospitals will give you credit for that LPN experience. Like, for example, if you're a nurse of LPN of 6 years, they'll credit you 3 years as an RN. So they'll pay you as if you've been working as an RN for 3 years, which is great. You really can't complain about that. That's an option. Another option is if you want to do a nurse residency program. I looked into those as well, and I considered them. But once I found out how low the compensation was, like an insult. That didn't work for me, long story short. So I didn't know what I was going to do. But I just kept looking for better opportunity, and I found it. So what I did not know was that LPNs are able to travel with certain agencies. There are agencies that will actually take you as an LPN, and you can take a travel assignment. I just didn't know it existed. I didn't know any LPNs that did such, because we've always been told you have to be an RN for 2 years in a specialty prior to traveling. That's not across the board. Whatever you have experience in, you find an agency that travels your discipline, and they find an assignment that matches your skill set. So I found an assignment to an LTAC facility, which is a long-term acute care facility. And pretty much these are like the middlemen between a short stay hospital and a long-term care facility. Well, a skilled nursing facility rather. Maybe you were in the hospital and they were unable to wean you off the ventilator, but you're they can't wean you necessarily in a skilled nursing facility. You're too acute. So they place you in these LTAC facilities to help you accomplish those goals that are taking you a little bit longer than expected, and then further stabilize you so that you can be placed in a skilled nursing facility or home or whatever. So that was my first travel assignment. So in addition to me, I passed my NCLEX examination that January. The first week of March, I was in Las Vegas working my assignment. So I was able to place new skills that I couldn't perform as an LPN on my resume. And then on top of that, I was able to place on my resume that I was a travel nurse. So once I had that on my resume and I began applying for hospital unit positions, once my assignment completed, I got a lot of feedback, a lot of responses back to my application, because that really stood out. It stood out because, one, they're like, okay, are you a new nurse? Are you a new RN, or you've been an RN? Because, it just wasn't making sense to them. Or, the fact that I actually traveled as an RN and have a little bit of, acute care experience as an RN with LPN experience behind me. They felt like, they could work with me. So by me doing that, it definitely was able to allow me to be a little bit more picky, and decide where I wanted to work as a brand new RN, versus how a lot of brand new RNs, they come out of school and they just take whatever job they can get first. Okay, so us LPNs, we definitely have an advantage, just because you have that nursing history. And a lot of employers do want to work with nurses that are not brand new to the bedside. So I went on to work as a med-surg nurse, and that's currently what I'm doing here in New York. Getting this contract, I've already traveled. At this point, I have a year of med-surg experience, so it was really no issue attaining this assignment. So I definitely wanted to get this video out there for my LPNs specifically, and maybe some student nurses that are trying to figure out what you're going to do after graduation or what have you. You definitely have options or what have you. I would just encourage you just to keep looking for something that fits your personal goals and what you're personally looking for. So that's it for this video. Stay tuned for my next video coming later in the week. So hit the subscribe bell so that you know when I post it. And that's it for today. If you have any questions, send me an email, comment below. Bye, guys.